station that's on your side. This is News 12, first at 5.
Well, next live at 5, our Dan Booth is standing by in Greenville, South Carolina for the Upper State Championship game. He has the latest on North Augusta girls basketball as they get ready for tonight's game.
Plus, local doctors are training in case of a train derailment in our area. But first, another tense day in court for Alec Murdaugh.
I have lied many times, but I can't sit here and tell you that. What are you talking about? Facts that I can't deny?
Just minutes ago, the prosecution ended its cross-examination of double murder suspect Alec Murdaugh. They are seeking to convince the jury that the disgraced attorney has a history of lying and no reason to tell the truth now.
And Murdaugh has emphatically denied any involvement in the killings. Nick Neville is at the Colleton County Courthouse with more. Lead prosecutor Creighton Waters grilled Alec Murdaugh about his lies, including most notably his assertion that he was never at the family dog kennels just minutes before his wife and son were murdered. We now know that that too was a lie. Waters threw out his questioning about the night of June 7th, 2021, emphasizing what he called Murdaugh's new facts. The defendant asserting that he was in fact cooperative with the murder investigation.
Other than lying to them about going to the kennel, I was cooperative in every aspect of this investigation.
Very cooperative, except for maybe the most important fact of all, that you were at the murder scene with the victims just minutes before they died.
Waters tightening the timeline for Murdaugh, who says he was only at the kennels for a few minutes. Today, he revealed that the family dogs were not barking or acting unusually when he was there.
There was nobody else around.
All right, good.
For them to sense.
At times, Murdaugh was unclear about the details from the night of June 7th, 2021, including being unsure whether he said goodbye to his wife before heading back to the main house, and what he did around 9:02 p.m. when his phone detects 283 steps.
And you disagree to my characterization that you've got a photographic memory about the details that have to fit now that you know these facts, but you're fuzzy on the other stuff that complicates that. You disagree with that?
I do disagree with that. I think that I have a good memory about a lot of things on this.
While being pressed about the moments when his phone wakes up, Murdaugh says,
I know what I wasn't doing, Mr. Waters, and what I wasn't doing is doing anything, as I believe you've implied, that I was cleaning off or washing off guns or putting guns in a raincoat, and I can promise you that I wasn't doing any of that.
At one point, Murdaugh blames the 2019 fatal boat crash for Maggie and Paul's deaths, claiming that half-truths and misrepresentations in the media motivated someone to kill.
So what you're telling this jury is that it's a random vigilante.
That's your
12-year-old the 12-year-old 5'2" people that just happened to know that Paul and Maggie were both at Moselle on June 7th, that knew that they would be at the kennels alone on June the 7th, that knew that you would not be there, but only between the times of 8:49 and 9:02, that they show up without a weapon, assuming that they're going to find weapons and ammunition there, that they commit this crime during that short time window, and then they travel the same exact route that you do around the same time to Alameda. That's what you're trying to tell this jury?
You got a lot of factors in there, Mr. Waters, all of which I do not agree with, but some of which I do.
Waters also ran through a list of people that Murdaugh lied to for over a decade, trying to paint the picture of a dishonest man who will lie to anyone, including this jury, when faced with accountability. In Walterboro, I'm Nick Neville. And Waters ended his cross-examination by playing a portion of the body cam footage from Sergeant Daniel Green. He notes that all of the reasons that Murdaugh admitted to lying, including his distrust of SLED, were not yet relevant.
He asserted that Murdaugh lied to the jury during his testimony. Murdaugh disagreed. If you want to go back and rewatch today's developments, you can head to WRDW.com. A lot happened in court today. A lot happened yesterday.
2 days.
Yeah, a lot of people have been glued to this. Now let's turn things over to Riley, who is tracking a backup on I-20. It's a mess out there, Riley.
And now, First Alert Traffic.
Absolutely, guys. We have been tracking this accident on I-20. This is for the westbound lanes. The accident is actually near exit 198, so that Washington Road exit, and it's number of vehicles. I believe it's 2, 3, and including a box truck with this accident that happened just about an hour and a half ago. This is a live look outside of our studio, so you can just see that very slow-moving traffic there. So this is the westbound lane going from South Carolina into Georgia. So a heads up, I would avoid this area if you can. This is a little bit different vantage point from our studio sign. This is right on I-20, kind of looking up towards those westbound lanes, and you can see that traffic is backed up all the way up to around the Riverwatch Parkway exit. We're also having to monitor the threat for some heavy rain and even some thunderstorms across the region. This is a live look from our Grovetown camera, and it's tough to even see the exit or the interstate. So slow-moving traffic likely on Columbia County here as well, as we do track some heavy rain across the region. This is a live look from our Aiken County Weather Stim camera network. Some dark skies there. Haven't quite seen the rain reach in just about 10 minutes.
Thanks, Riley. Investigators in Ohio say they have no evidence the crew of the derailed train in East Palestine did anything wrong. 11 tank cars carrying hazardous materials derailed nearly 3 weeks ago, causing a major fire and a toxic chemical leak. Thousands of people were forced to evacuate as rail crews burned off harmful chemicals there.
In light of those recent events, local doctors and healthcare professionals have come together to learn and train on how to deal with disasters.
Yeah, and our Taylor Martin stopped by today's derailment simulation to see what they learned.
In mass incidents like a plane crash or a train derailment, hands-on training helps keep healthcare professionals prepared. It's why the Medical College of Georgia is allowing providers to participate in their train derailment simulation. Today's simulation uses actors, mannequins, and other hands-on equipment, letting doctors and first responders put what they learn into practice. I spoke with Dr. Matt Lyon, who says when you're dealing with a train derailment, you could be dealing with anything from exposure to toxins to trauma.
But today what we're doing is we're helping 2 rural hospitals learn how to take care of a disaster, and also how us as an academic medical center can help rural hospitals through telemedicine in those times of disaster. So today we are practicing tying in with the Georgia Poison Center so that they can help us with the toxins, and then tie into our trauma and our critical care so that we can help them with their critically ill and traumatic patients.
All new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we're learning more about how today's training will have an impact on healthcare in local communities. Reporting in Augusta, Taylor Martin on your side.
Thanks for that, Taylor. There's a new push in the South Carolina State House tonight for a hate crime law. A House subcommittee unanimously advanced the bill yesterday. The plan, named after the late Senator Clementa Pinckney, aims to stiffen punishments for crimes motivated by bias against particular groups. Pinckney was killed during the massacre at Mother Emanuel in Charleston. South Carolina is one of 2 states, just 2, without a hate crime law. The North Augusta girls basketball team is in Greenville, South Carolina tonight, ready for the Upper State Championship game.
And this is the 7th time in 8 years, you heard that right, that the team has made it to the state Final Four. Our Dan Booth is live at Bob Jones University in Greenville. And Dan, tip-off is in about 30 minutes. What can we expect tonight?
Meredith and Will, as you just said it, we're only a few minutes away from the opening tip between North Augusta and Wade Hampton in the Class 4A Upper State Championship game, which in the state of South Carolina is also known as the state semifinals. Now, the Lady Jackets are just 4 quarters away from going back to the state championship game for the 6th time in the last 7 years, which is incredible. And they are no strangers to playing on the big stage and playing with that spotlight all on them. And this unprecedented run of success is in the hands of a team that is loaded with young talent. There are 3 seniors in their starting lineup, and they're supported by 3 freshmen, 2 of whom are starters. And you can't forget Ashley Walker, who's an 8th grader whose impact off the bench has certainly not gone unnoticed. The road to the Upper State Championship game hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows for the Lady Jackets, and that is one of the reasons why they're playing at the top of their game when the games are at their most critical.
Important to have ups and downs throughout the season. You don't want to peak too early, like Coach says. He tells us all the time he's glad that we didn't play so good or play so bad during the season.
I just think having tough games early in the season kind of help us get ourselves prepared for this kind of pressure and playing in these conditions. And I was so proud of our kids.
As you guys mentioned off the top, this is actually the this is the 7th time in 8 years that North Augusta has made it to at least the state semifinals. So it'll be interesting to see how all of these young players come out and play with a trip to the state championship game on the line. Now, as you guys mentioned as well, the tip-off is scheduled for 5:30. And with that being said, North Augusta just came off the court after finishing up their warm-ups. I'm expecting them to come back out in just a few minutes to get everything rolling here. And I'm going to have continuing coverage throughout the night, so stick around because it's going to be a lot of fun. But for now, reporting from Bob Jones University in Greenville, Dan Booth on your side.
Yeah, 7 of the last 8 is not very bad. And like we were talking about, we have an 8th grader on the team participating out there in Greenville right now. So it's pretty impressive stuff. And we send our best wishes to the Lady Jackets as they try to compete for that 8th title there.
Talk about some bench strength, and then one of your strong players as an 8th grader. That's just incredible.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Well, still to come on News 12 Live at 5, we talk with some of our local veterans about what Black history means to them. Riley?
Well, we do have some rain and even a few thunderstorms out there for the rest of this evening and to tonight. We'll let you know when the rain comes to an end and also that weekend outlook just after the break.
Habitat for Humanity and President Jimmy Carter go hand in hand, all for one mission: building strength, stability, improving homes and lives all over the world. Coming up all new tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we hear from one future homeowner on how Jimmy Carter's legacy continues to grow each day.
Time and temp.
From rainfall again, heading into next Thursday and Friday.
Thanks, Riley. There are just a few days left in Black History Month, and the Charlie Norwood VA Medical Center had a dedication ceremony.
Our Mikkel Hannah Harding stopped by to capture the ceremony and highlight its purpose.
I just want to let the veterans and the local community know that it's not just one day, it's a month, and even once this month is over with, the education piece is an ongoing process.
At the Charlie Norwood VA, there were 2 messages: unity and education. This event also served as a reminder of how African American veterans are able to do the things they do today.
I am very grateful for the African American veterans that made the way for me to serve in the military today. I think there are a lot less barriers that I have to face because of the sacrifices they made.
A group of minority Army JROTC cadets from the Academy of Richmond County say they realize the impact these veterans have today.
This opportunity is very great to me. I hold it very precious and dear. It should be important to everyone. We should celebrate. We should look back on the past. We should not go back to it, but we should look back and celebrate on it and look how far we've come.
Through singing, poetry,
as we look into each other's eyes, we became one.
And speaking.
It's an opportunity for us really just to celebrate.
The importance of Black History Month was highlighted, and the spirit of unity could be felt.
We serve a wide variety of veterans of all different races, colors, and creeds, and my hope is that when they see themselves recognized and represented, that they will greater understand kind of what we're here to do and that we're here to serve them no matter what their differences are.
Be together as one and be one so we can all celebrate all the people that did something for us.
And the VA has had several Black History Month events, and they say they've gotten positive responses from veterans appreciating what they're doing there.
Yeah, and thank all of them for their service and sacrifice to our country. We're back in a bit.
Come on into Davis Appliance and Furniture, where you can find the best deals in town. It's tax time, so when that refund comes in, it's the perfect time to get the furniture you've always wanted. For the brands you trust at the lowest prices, visit us at Davis Appliance and Furniture.
I got hurt in a car wreck. For the CSRA Heart Walk today at csraheartwalk.org.
Come on into Davis Appliance and Furniture, where you can find the best deals in town. It's tax time, so when that refund comes in, it's the perfect time to get the furniture you've always wanted. For the brands you trust at the lowest prices, visit us at Davis Appliance and Furniture.
Going back out